Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? This is Sammy Leggett here representing Team JVS, here to give you guys another movie review. This time around, I'm talking about Hypnotic. The ironic thing about Hypnotic is that Ben Affleck, who is the main star in this one, is right now currently not only debuting this, but he's also debuting Air, which is a phenomenal film. Highly recommend you go and check it out. And his wife, at the same exact time when it's released out, had a premiere of her movie called Mother on Netflix as well, all at the same exact time. So I thought that was really fascinating how that all worked out. Now, the backdrop of Hypnotic is going to be a little complicated for me to explain, but I'll do the best I can without spoiling anything because this is a non-spoiler review. So the baseline of it is you have a man, he's a detective, and you find out very quickly that Ben Affleck's character is um closed off. Best thing I can say. And when we first see him, he's kind of checking out a crime scene and something's happening. He just seems like something's wrong, something's off. And then you find out that he's also missing his daughter. And we don't know how long he's missed his daughter for, but we do know that he's circling around trying to find her. Now, this is also starring Alice Barga, J.D. Pargo, Jackie Earl Haley, and William Fitcher. Now, William Fitchner plays the antagonist. You see him very early on. Throughout the course of the movie, you really don't know what his intent is. Um, but you can tell that something is off about all of it. And the this is the hard thing to say about this film. The first half of this film, before it turns a 180, like an actual literal 180, I wasn't buying this film at all. It felt like a lot of times like a knockoff on Inception. Then sometimes it felt like a knockoff on the movie Face Off. And then it had other elements in it that really started to throw me off. And I feel like if I start naming dropping all these different films, and if you've seen the movie Hypnotic, you'll know exactly what I mean. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm gonna try to go and base it on what I've seen, but I guess I'll have to. So, Prisoners, Bloodshot, Inception, and the previous movie Luther with the Fallen Sun. Because to be honest, William Fetchler is actually reminding me a lot of Andy Serkis in that Luther film. And I'm not gonna mention what the Bloodshot part is, but definitely, most definitely, Prisoners because of the daughter situation and the beginning of it. Like I said, like Ben Affleck's character is trying to figure out what happened, and he's willing to risk anything and everything for it. Now, what I did start to like is the second half. The second half, there's a huge twist that happens, and the movie starts to make sense. Now, it does start to make comparisons to the movie Looper, but I'll leave that for another day. But when they start to go into what is really happening and everything surrounding that, I was like, okay, I'm in it. That's why I finished the movie because at a certain point, I was like, this is very dumb. This doesn't make any sense. Why would these characters do this? Who is this character? Like, why is this fake me out situation going on? And then when by the time you got to the end, it all made up for it. Now there was an end credit that didn't make any sense, which implied that there's gonna be more of these. But I, the second half was fine. The second half, I think it was a good movie there. Second half, I was very intrigued. Like I think if they pulled the wool over our eyes within the first 30 minutes and we stayed there for a little bit longer and wrote it a little bit better, I think it would be fine. The writing in the beginning of this is very poor. Not only the writing, but the acting as well. Like it's so weird to me because watching Ben Affleck like walk like act circles around people in air and like flawlessly do it to this, it felt like a fake me out performance. But I think again, I do think that the second half is better acting, but it might be a reason for that. I think that that was a creative choice. that Robert Rodriguez did to make you feel like this wasn't real kind of situation, which goes into the Matrix. Um, but it did not stick the landing. I think Alice Braga does a good job with the source material given. Jackie Earl Haley is completely wasted. Um, and William Fletcher, I think he's always good in everything he does, but just the story of the first half of this was just not it. Score was unmemorable. Even down to the action and the VFX. The VFX was trying its hardest to be kind of like Inception, and it did not land. The VFX did not work for me at all. Score didn't do anything, and even the shots that they chose didn't do much. It's so weird to me because Robert Rodriguez is actually a really good director. And again, I say the second half starts to get really good, but even with that, it felt very tame. Because I think this is a rated R film, if I'm not mistaken, and it did not feel like a rated R film at all. They didn't. This should have been a PG-13 movie. They would have done better just putting it in the movie theaters because this did not do it. Also, the movie runtime is I think like an hour and 20 minutes, so it's not even an hour and 30 minutes. I personally cannot recommend this film. I don't want to rate it. If I did, it would be 5 and down. But I do contest that the second half is significantly better. I think there's a good movie there. It's just weird the timing of when this movie came out because it's like a night and day difference between this and Air. But yeah, that's all I've got for Hypnotic. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. I apologize if that put anybody in a downward state or in their thought process about possibly going checking out Hypnotic. But I'll talk to you guys soon. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in to Team JVS. Peace, people. Falling off the top of